Call the meeting to order. We're all present except for Jonathan, and he will be absent this evening. Lost my place here. Item 2, at the Commissioner's request, discuss any item of concern on the regular session agenda of April the 2nd, 2019. Alyssa, will you explain what you're going to do when we pull that item that we tabled 2 weeks ago?
Under item number 5.5, we will still remove from table to consider an appointment for the EGRT. However, we will not have to take a ballot because Ms. Lynn Snow will be appointed as a school representative to the board, so there will only be one at-large position and one applicant, so it will just be a vote to consider Cole Wasinger as the representative to the at-large EGRT.
Okay.
So we don't pull it back then? How does it stay?
We'll just do a motion to remove from the table and then a motion to appoint.
Okay.
Is that right?
Right.
Yeah, okay, that's all right.
So,
Figured it had to come back to the table so it could resolve the meeting.
No, we were going to have to table the table because Jonathan's absent tonight.
We don't need to.
No.
No.
If that hadn't happened.
Oh, yeah.
Well, we could have just left it on the table,
Sure,
right?
sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we can vote on
Yes.
it anyway.
Okay.
People change their mind.
Okay.
Item 3, update on the Lions Park renovation.
Yes, Mayor Everett Glenn and Corey Buller are going to give an update on what's going on at Lions Park. We've been renovating that park. We started sometime, well, late last year or early this year. And you have a slide presentation, and Everett and Corey will take it away.
Mayor, Commissioners, good evening. I'm Corey Buller. I'm the supervisor with the City of Enid Parks and Recreation. So we've got Lions Park. We're going to upgrade and put new equipment in the play area here. We've got some outdated equipment in the slides, and you see the 2 spring toys and the climber there. These are some before pictures. And this is it. What we've done here is along Arthur Street, which is on the west side of the park. We've come in and added an ADA accessible inset parking. And starting on that right picture there, that's as that is finished. So we've also, let me back up a couple slides here and show you. You can probably see on the right slide there, or I guess you can see it better on the left slide there. There's a basketball goal just standing up out there in the
Your
middle of
pointer, top button work?
Nope.
Guess not.
Oh, there we go.
There we
Sorry. Okay, so it's going to be right in there. No, it's going there.
Is that concrete slab there that you can see?
There you
Is
go.
that the-
Yeah, there we go.
It's on the left.
Okay, so that's the goal right there, and that's just all open field in that area right there. So we've gone ahead, if you look on the right slide there, we've put a 20 by 20 pad with the sidewalk going up to it. So we've got the van accessible parking along with sidewalks going to that basketball pad and the playground equipment there, so. It's just some more after. Our crew is actually gonna start tomorrow morning removing that existing playground right there. We have the new playgrounds ordered. They should be here within the month.
So Corey, that jungle gym thing and those bucket bounce or whatever those spring-loaded toys are, those are going away?
They are gonna go away, yes. They are non-compliant according to the new playground safety standards that are out.
So do those go up for
Yeah.
like public auction or what?
Yes, they are. Yep. So we'll do the best we can not to damage
Totally get
anything
one
as they
of those.
come out. And then these last 2 slides are just kind of a proposal from, this is the playground equipment that we have ordered from Child's Play, which is they use Burke playground equipment. So you can see that this outside border right here is the existing border. So this is going to fit. We don't even have to do any border changes. Everything will fit right in there. We will, however, be adding a separate border over here for a new swing set. We did remove the swing set about 2 years ago, and the people in the neighborhood there really like that swing set. So we've got a 3-bay swing coming back in there for that. So,
And then does mulch go in instead
Yes.
of the sand?
yes,
Right.
safety, it's the engineered wood fiber that's set to all the safety standards. And that's kind of a preview of just what the playground's gonna look like there. We'll have an entryway up, some climbers over here. This is a spinning, kind of like a little merry-go-round type thing, and then another climber there. So. And then you've got your 3-bay swing up top here.
How many of those parks are you doing a year now?
This year we're doing two of the smaller pocket parks. We're gonna do Lions, and then immediately after we'll be doing Hoover Park on West Oklahoma,
Okay.
where the splash pad is.
Now, the playground thing in the bottom left corner, is that wheelchair accessible to be able to go?
It is
up?
wheelchair accessible,
So
yes.
it's similar to the one that they have in Ambox Park?
Yeah, well, yeah, it just won't be the same surfacing down there. It'll just, yeah, yeah, but it'll be,
Yeah, when they had the ADA parking, they actually put the sidewalk to the playground already too, so it's
Okay.
all in place.
and I've talked to some neighbors in the area there. They'd like to see a couple benches. We're gonna get them some benches put in and maybe a picnic table or something to sit in there. So. Is there any questions? Any other questions?
It'll be nice.
How many other parks do we have, and how many of them need to be upgraded for ADA?
There's about 28 parks out there. 3 of them are the larger, Meadow Lake, Government Springs, Crossland. We've gone through and done a bunch of upgrades in the last few years as far as Government Springs, Don Haskins, Meadow Lake North, Champion Park. We do have, I would say probably 10 more that have a playground equipment that need to be upgraded. They're smaller parks, so it's gonna be
Okay,
smaller things like this. No real major playgrounds that need replaced.
chipping away at it, that's good. All right, thank you.
Thank you.
One thing, Mayor, that I would like for us to think about is we've talked about it from time to time and never done anything about it, is to put a park out at Brookside. At Brookside community, there's a lot of people out there,
Spot out there.
and it's been on the park list, but there's really never been a park there.
Well, and there's property that I think folks would be happy to, that is used as a park, that is privately owned, but the property owners have expressed a desire to
Yeah.
donate to the park, and one of the property owners died, and things are a little sideways there for a little bit, but I expect that we could, in exchange for assuming the responsibility to mow it, have a nice little park over there.
But there's never really been any park equipment in there. There's I think,
Football goal.
They've got a
football
field
goal
on the
about
east
it,
side.
but anyway, that's a large community. A lot of people live out there, and I'm sure there are a lot of children in that area, and there really should be a park
It's
there.
getting larger.
Is it the heirs of Larry and Dolores McClure that? we would need-
Humphreys, McClures, and who's the third family? Humphrey, McClure, and I think there may be a third family that owns, it's an LLC or something that owns it. Bit of a-
Well, that would be,
I don't think it's Rogers.
Larry's daughter and husband.
Now, yeah,
David.
yeah.
Well, we can certainly reach out to them if they want to donate it, we'll accept it. As you know, there's nothing there. So any infrastructure will have to be built over time.
There's parking, or there's road to there. and
There's
it's
a road
at
to the area,
grade.
but there's no parking, there's no bathrooms, there's no ADA, anything,
Yeah.
there's no sidewalks.
It's just
Yeah.
grass.
So it'll be a long-term project, but yes, we can-
Well, it has been a long-term project
Yes.
already.
Yeah,
you're right.
you know, we're only 30
I
years.
think there's a couple of football goals there.
That's it.
It's a long list.
I know, but I mean, I just like to, it's something that needs to be kept on the
Radar.
and if we,
I agree.
I don't think we need to make another Meadow Lake out there, but I'd like to see at least have kind of a neighborhood park, put a little equipment in there, and maybe pave a little parking and whatnot.
Okay.
Some benches.
Budget season,
I will bring you a
This is the
lot
time
of
of year.
items at budget season.
I'm sure you will.
And a limited amount of funding, but we'll figure it out.
Item 4, update on the Meadow Lake Boat Dock project.
Hey, this is a continuation of some park improvements. Significant improvements have been made at Meadow Lake probably over the last 5 or more years. This is another continued improvement that we talked about before. We've looked at several different ways to get this done, but we've got it contracted out now. Morale's going to tell us all about it, and hopefully it'll be done in time for this season to support the paddle boats.
Yep, thank you. Thank you, Mayor, Commissioners, and City Manager. This is the typical look like what's going to look like a boat dock. And notice to proceed was yesterday, and it has a construction period of 90 days. This is similar, it looks like, and we don't have an enclosed room and also all the support structures. It will have the railing, and there will be 3 gates around it for access. And this is the location of the boat dock. And these are some of the pictures. Started yesterday work. So, that's all I got.
It's actually gonna be a floating deal then?
Yes, sir. It looks like similar to like this.
Why would it not be ready this summer?
It will be ready. Mayor, it's 90 days is what is the construction time, and
Construction time.
April, May, June should be ready 4th of July.
Yes, sir.
And about how big is it?
It's going to be 20 feet by 20 feet.
20 by 20? Okay.
So didn't we have a guy that was gonna do paddle boats a couple years ago and then that didn't work?
we did, I
And
think it was
then did we
about 2
take
years
that
ago.
over?
We did, and you remember we started about 2 years ago, we didn't have a boat dock,
Right,
but we were planning to have one.
right.
He lasted 1 season, and then I never really understood
I don't even
why
think he lasted a
didn't.
whole season.
I believe his name was
like
Deacon.
he was there for a minute.
Deacon Jones or something like that. Deacon lasted a season, and then maybe part of another season. We bought his paddle boats from him and had them. Corey has those in storage,
Okay,
so they're ready to bring out. We just need a dock.
cool.
So we'll be bringing back the paddle boats this year
Cool.
again.
Awesome.
Okay.
Any questions?
Sounds exciting.
Thank you.
Thank you. Item 5, discuss food services establishments ordinance revision.
Okay, very exciting. This has gone through several different revisions. We had included bake sales and lemonades stands in our definition of what a mobile food vendor isn't. And it was fairly precise. Bake sales held on private property by nonprofit organizations. Lemonade stands held on private property by juveniles. And, but it only, those definitions only involve the mobile food vendor, not necessarily all the food service establishments. So we had some issues about what is required, and I thought maybe that it would be good to just indicate in the scope of regulations that we're not regulating food and drink in which reasonable persons would assume the products would be prepared at, we're only regulating, we're only regulating food and drink in which reasonable persons would assume the products would be prepared at licensed facilities by trained personnel. And then I say, the regulation does not cover bake sales, baked goods labeled with a special label that says this wasn't baked in a facility that has been checked by the health department, lemonade stands, or potlucks. So you are participating in those types of things at your own risk, and we are not. They're traditional things. If you go and you get some brownies made by teenagers or even older ladies, it's probably been made at their house. Lemonade, on the side of the street,
Watch out for the listeria.
exactly.
Well, basically, and it kind of came about because Enid doesn't have anything like the cottage law, like the state has. And so, like, the state has cottage laws that talk about and they have to be labeled like she's talking about. Like, people, like, we have a couple of businesses here that are cottage industries or whatever, and they can make things in their kitchen, but then they have to label it a certain way. But we didn't have anything like that. So when we have people that are trying to sell stuff that it got lost in the mix of,
Yeah.
no, there was no, it was
The-
too regulated over
Yeah.
stuff that was silly.
The cottage laws specifically indicate that counties can regulate these, less than $20,000 a year profit. It does not say, it says counties can pass ordinances to regulate and enforce the cottage laws. So my thought was just indicate here that we're not trying to regulate lemonade stands. Now, granted, Gerald asked this. Okay, if we do this,
I mean,
does
Gerald
that
wants
mean-
to regulate lemonade,
No,
so make sure you.
no, he doesn't.
Or deregulate.
But he did mention,
regulate
okay,
lemonade.
so
Got it.
would a child be able to have a lemonade stand 365 days of a year? Yes, they could, if they wanted to. Now, I'm pretty certain that a parent's gonna get kind of tired of that, tired of the sugar and the mess and stuff, but yes. Now, and we're not regulating. So, and the baked goods, if it's labeled with the little sign that says, beware, this was in a regular kitchen, not in a licensed kitchen. I'm thinking this is good. I don't think people really, as the last sentence says, I think people just, buy it because it's nice, not that it's necessarily safe or tasty.
Folks have a reasonable expectation of bake sale goods being from a residential.
Yeah.
That's
So, and then that way, we're not having to worry about whether the bake sale, for instance, that would allow, for example, someone, if we're having some big event at the courthouse in the, little grassy knoll there, the bake sale people could go there, where previously, the bake sale people, that would be public property, so the bake sale exception would not be broad enough. So this should broaden it out by just saying, have your bake sales, have your lemonade, have your potlucks, have your little muffins, as long as they say that they weren't in a facility licensed by the Department of Health.
Cool.
And, less is more sometimes.
Agreed.
Appreciate it. I thought it was clever.
Yeah.
Tammy, is that what you were?
Yes.
Okay.
I just want it to not be so hard. Like, it just shouldn't be hard. Like, there's, not mine, but like a bunch of different events that happen, not just mine, but several over the last several years I've seen. You have vendors that want to come and do things at events, and like they sell cookies, or they sell cakes, or they make Indian tacos, or whatever, and they have to go through this kind of ridiculous jumping through hoops to come and set up their card table and their roaster, and it's really kind of unnecessary.
Well, I think this will address that.
Because they're not really the same, because when we talk about mobile food vendors, we're talking more like food trucks and that kind of stuff that do this as a every single day business. And we're not talking about people that do it on the side, like make cobbler or whatever.
Well, tell me something though, does this law address whether or not they can sell brownies that have marijuana in them?
No, it is neutral as to that.
I think that's a separate issue.
Ron, I think you
That's a
have to have a
perfect
medical
answer,
card
Carol.
or something to buy and
We
consign
can
that.
find brownies on the street corner, I don't
It'll get in there.
imagine they'd ask for any
It
cards.
will get in there, but somehow.
That might
I
be a
think you still
different
have to have a
ordinance.
license for that.
Okay,
Anything else?
If we find some, we'll let you know, Ron.
all right,
Item 6.
call me.
My cousin did one in the restaurant with us.
Schedules.
That's all she
Yeah, hey, I wanted to bring the budget schedule up again. I know you talked about it last time, and I think some of the feedback was, let's not start until the 6th, when the new people get seated. And so I think that's fine. I just want to clarify our days and times now, so we can go ahead and start working on
So
agendas.
we don't have to do the budget this year?
No.
Congratulations.
We're about to get carved out of the ninth budget process, Tammy.
Yay.
I'm
Okay, I'm
sorry.
just gonna go straight to the slide
Yeah.
that we have for the schedule.
So I think we'll do a meeting, well, clearly we're gonna do a meeting on the 6th, so we'll probably start talking about the budget then. But we'll do that after the new folks are sworn in.
And
On
we're
the
talking
9th,
about the 9th again.
The 9th, does that work for people? We can do 5 or 5:30 if that's whatever's
That's fine.
best.
Okay.
It's tentative at 5 to 7 for 2 hours
All right
then.
with you, Tam, now,
Perfectly
at
happy about that. I
Yes.
might go camping that day.
6th,
We typically need about 3
May
meetings, and if we need more, we'll have more.
and
The problem with the next week is, that Jennifer talked about last time, is some people are gonna be in, the 13th to the
DC.
17th, people are gonna be in DC.
DC.
Who else going on the DC trip? Jonathan's going, is there just 3 of you going? Okay.
Who's the third? Jonathan?
Derwin.
Rob, are you going? Okay, so there'll be,
Oh, yeah.
we won't have a quorum, so, that's why we'll have, so the 21st is the actual meeting, the next regular meeting. So we may want to,
So we need to add one more
we
in
might
there.
want to add a
Let us
date,
know.
maybe on the 20th, or maybe the 8th, the 7th is
Better
Mayfay.
check it out.
7th is May 8th.
Is that what it is?
Would you want to do,
the 8th?
I don't really want to do 3
I don't want to do
days,
3 in one
but-
week. I don't like you guys that much.
Okay.
Could we do the 20th?
Sure, I think we could do the 20th.
Is that an MAPC meeting, wouldn't it?
Is that MAPC?
Would it be MAPC?
Can we,
Oh, okay.
Okay.
what time is their meeting?
5:36.
Okay.
Is that when you're in Washington?
So what
George?
if you did a noon
What?
one on the
No, it's the week
20th?
before.
No, I'd say week of the 13th.
Or the 11 to
17th.
1 on the 20th? Wouldn't interfere with the,
Jonathan
see.
said, I think when the last time that he had a hard time making lunch meetings.
Oh, yeah, he has our time to get off work.
Yeah.
Okay,
Well,
we
we
could
could-
always
we-
do
we-
it after MAPC.
Well,
It's gonna be late, because they.
we
Ah,
could,
their
but I
meeting's
would
at 6.
suggest maybe we could go past the 21st. What we
Do it on the 22nd?
could. I'd like to do probably, what we'd like to do is get the budget approved as soon as possible. So
Yeah.
the next meeting after, we don't have any more regular meetings. So after the 21st, do we have the June calendar on here?
Are you gonna,
no,
you're
I do
going to
not.
run into Memorial Day too.
We could do the 22nd. Let me see.
We could boot MAPC.
Do we know when the meeting is in June? Is it June the 6th?
We might have, I think we have some notices.
We actually have important things on MAPC.
Well, some notices that are going out.
June 4th?
4th and, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, June 4th.
I don't
Um,
know that it matters, but when Commissioner Waddell mentioned, he just said several meetings at noon.
Oh, okay.
So I think if we had one, he might be able to, but that'd be something you could ask him. I don't know.
Well, why don't you talk to Jonathan and see if he can do a lunch one that week,
On the 20th?
on the 20th? And if not, then let's do it on the evening of the 22nd. Does that work?
Yeah, I think we'll make it work.
And
Okay.
what time were we thinking? 5 PM?
Yeah, I mean, 5,
Okay.
if we can do 5 o'clock.
Yeah, on the 22nd, if we can't do lunch
can't
on
do
the
an-
20th.
11 to 1 on the 20th.
Oh,
It'll just be really quick and
We'll go have a beer while y'all are doing
You'll
that.
Yes,
have
thank
Ward
you.
6 replacement on there on the 14th.
mhm.
So we probably have budget approval on the 22nd, not the 21st, if we don't do May 20th.
If we don't do the lunch on the 20th,
Yeah.
we would have to,
Yeah.
yes.
Which
We
is still enough time.
Could always do budget approval at a special meeting,
Yeah,
Mhm.
or we could do it the first meeting in June. For us and for staff to
You
get the
need
new
30
budget,
days
it helps to
for-
get it sooner.
We'd have to-
We could, but we could ask for the emergency, which resolved that. But I know in the past, the commission hasn't wanted to do an emergency.
If we can
Yeah.
do it,
But I think
People
part of
aren't
that
here
was,
anymore.
they didn't understand, or that there was,
David
the
didn't like
emergency
it.
doesn't have to do with an
No,
emergency.
David
They're
didn't
not
like it.
here
Yeah, got it. Just spade to spade.
Exactly.
it just has to do with 30 days or faster, so
Yeah. No, okay, whatever.
we'll figure it out, okay?
I'm off a week. Next city council meeting is the 21st.
Yeah, you're done. Yeah, how nice for you. I'm
You're welcome to
so
come back.
excited about more budget meetings.
Three
Two
of
more
us-
cycles.
3 of us know that.
2 more cycles left.
Oh, there's one other thing. Is there anything, can you tell them the things we were gonna talk about?
Right, I was just gonna go over again. The first one is just the basic operations for day-to-day. And so that would be the meeting that I think that we would move. We probably would leave the items that are scheduled for the 6th to leave on the 6th, but that is also, would be something that I'll need to make sure with Aaron to make sure. So we have just operational on the 2nd, and these are more of the larger funds operational budgets, which would be also the night that we wanted to do the budget hearing. And that is at the regular meeting on Tuesday for May 6th.
Are there anything besides, those of you that have been around a while, well, everybody here knows pretty much what we talk about every time. Is there anything that you want us to cover that's different, or in an area maybe we haven't talked about before? Okay. Okay.
And then the last night would be our capital improvement plan.
Okay.
So unless there's something in detail that you would want to have a little more information on than we normally have, but usually operational budgets, we kind of just brief unless you have questions during that time.
That'll work.
All right, well, we'll get a schedule out and start working on agendas for those special meetings. Thank you.
Item 7, we are adjourned. We'll meet upstairs at 6:30.
Thank you for watching the Enid City Commission study session. All meetings are broadcast on local cable channel 12 and in high definition on channel 112. In addition, the study session is live streamed on the web at enidtv.org. If you have any questions or comments regarding this broadcast, please visit the City of Enid website at enid.org.